Zohran Mamdani wins New York's mayoral election.
This is a historic win.
Tonight, you have delivered a mandate for change.
In a political landscape flooded with establishment figures, one name is rising above the rest: Zohran Mamdani. But who is this fresh face in New York politics? And what's driving the buzz around him? Well, President Trump wasted no time labeling him a communist.
Congressional Democrats wish to do to America. Just look at the result of yesterday's election in New York, where their party installed a communist as the mayor of the largest city in the nation.
But Mamdani wasn't fazed. In a stunning turn of events, he went on to defeat none other than former Governor Andrew Cuomo, who ran as an independent, backed by Trump himself.
Since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Mamdani wasn't always a politician. Before entering the political arena, he was deeply involved in community organizing, focusing on housing rights and economic justice. His activism brought him face to face with the struggles everyday New Yorkers deal with: skyrocketing rents, eviction, and lack of access to basic services. This gave him an authentic, people-first approach to his politics. Before we dive into how Zohran Mamdani pulled off his historic win, let's take a moment to highlight some of his firsts. Zohran was born in Uganda to Indian parents and moved to New York with his family when he was just 7. His mother, Mira Nair, is a well-known film director, and his father, Professor Mahmoud Mamdani, teaches at Columbia University. Both of them graduated from Harvard. Zohran went on to attend the Bronx High School of Science and later earned a degree in Africana Studies from Bowdoin College. Zohran's wife, Rama Duwaji, is 28 years old and has been a big part of his journey. The couple met on the popular dating app Hinge, making Zohran probably the first New York City mayor to have met his spouse that way. In the 2020 primary, Zohran Mamdani ran for the New York State Assembly in District 36, challenging the longtime incumbent Jeffrion Aubrey. While Zohran did not win the seat in 2020, his campaign brought a new level of awareness to the district's struggles, particularly around issues like rent control, housing, and healthcare access.
If you make a promise to the people of Queens, you have to keep that promise.
Zohran's campaign helped cement his role as an emerging progressive voice within New York politics. Many voters in District 36 felt that Jeffrion Aubrey had been in office for too long and had failed to address their needs, especially as housing costs continued to rise and as the community felt left out of economic opportunities. Zohran tapped into this discontent and positioned himself as the candidate for change. Zohran's progressive policies resonated with the working-class communities of Queens, particularly around issues like affordable housing, healthcare, and police reform. His platform directly addressed the concerns of voters who felt neglected by the traditional political machine. Zohran's ability to connect with voters on the ground through door-to-door canvassing, local town halls, and direct engagement was crucial. His campaign emphasized real community involvement, which helped build trust and enthusiasm among voters. Zohran's ability to mobilize younger voters, who are often less engaged in traditional political processes, played a crucial role. His savvy use of social media allowed him to reach these voters effectively and build a strong, enthusiastic base of support. Zohran's status as a young, progressive outsider was appealing to voters who were tired of the same old political insiders. His victory was a reflection of the broader shift in New York politics, where voters were increasingly looking for candidates who represented their values and not just established political networks.
Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani has been elected to be New York's next mayor.
Zohran Mamdani has been elected mayor of New York City.
So, what sets Zohran Mamdani apart as a politician? It's not just his age or background, it's his bold vision for the future. At the core of Zohran's platform is tackling the housing crisis in New York City. He advocates for strong rent control, better tenant protections, and creating more affordable housing for working-class families. Zohran also champions Medicare for all, pushing for universal health care so that everyone, no matter their income, has access to the care they need. For him, healthcare isn't a privilege, it's a right. And when it comes to climate change, Zohran is a strong supporter of the Green New Deal. His goal is to create jobs while shifting New York towards renewable energy, cutting emissions, and investing in sustainable infrastructure. But Zohran's policies aren't just about changing laws. They're about empowering communities, protecting vulnerable populations, and creating a fairer, more just future for everyone.
Tonight, it was, not expected to be a victory. It was very Democrat areas, but I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody.
Of course, Zohran's rise hasn't been without its critics. Some argue that his age and inexperience make him ill-suited to lead such a complex city. But is that really the case? Critics point to his youth as a weakness, saying he lacks the experience needed to tackle the challenges of running one of the world's largest cities. But Zohran's supporters would argue that what he lacks in years of political experience, he makes up for in passion, vision, and a deep understanding of the issues that affect everyday people. Just moments after Zohran Mamdani clinched victory to become the next mayor of New York City, the rising political star set his sights on a new challenge, taking on the President of the United States. In his victory speech on Tuesday, Mamdani wasted no time addressing his biggest adversary. Looking directly into the cameras, he taunted President Trump.
Since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up!
Minutes later, Trump fired back on his social media platform Truth Social with a simple but pointed message. And so it begins. The 34-year-old Mamdani has been labeled by Trump as the communist future of the Democratic Party. Trump had backed Andrew Cuomo, former governor and independent candidate, telling New Yorkers that if they voted for Mamdani, federal funds to the city would be cut.
US President Donald Trump has said that he will restrict federal funds for New York City if Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the city's mayoral election.
The morning after Mamdani's win, Trump warned that people would soon be fleeing New York. This is not the first time the former president, a native New Yorker, has attempted to influence the city's affairs. From ramping up immigration raids to trying to block funding for congestion pricing, something he strongly opposes, Trump has frequently clashed with the city. But Mamdani, undeterred, remained confident. If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it's the city that gave rise to him, he declared in his victory speech. Since taking office, Trump has wielded federal power against several Democratic-run cities, deploying National Guard troops and tightening immigration enforcement across the country. Trump also slashed billions in funding to cities after the October government shutdown, including freezing $18 billion in federal money for major infrastructure projects in New York. Political experts have warned that Trump could cut even more, potentially undermining Mamdani's campaign promises to lower the cost of living in the city. As a self-described democratic socialist, Mamdani ran on a platform of free, faster buses, rent freezes for stabilized housing, universal childcare, and city-run grocery stores, among other bold initiatives. The reality is the mayor-elect will have to divert a significant amount of his attention to dealing with President Trump and the ongoing attacks on New York, said Julian Zelizer, a Princeton University professor of history. It will be a major challenge for Mamdani, both for the city and for him personally, to stay focused on his agenda amidst these distractions. Zohran Mamdani is more than just a politician. He's a symbol of the changing face of American politics. With his progressive policies, fresh perspective, and commitment to justice, he's proving that a new generation of leaders is ready to take charge. What do you think about his rise? Will he live up to the hype? Let us know in the comments below.